You're kicking it with G on your favorite station.
The perfect station.
92 KELZ, the only station with new music, new artists, new sound.
Guys, it has been forever. It's been way too long, right? Like, I feel like I haven't seen you, G, in over a month.
Hey, it's been a little while. Hey, we had to take that little break. It was needed. That mental break was needed.
Was
The
it
people
needed?
needed that break. Yes, they needed.
I think so.
We can tell right now that
so
they need it just by how they listening to everything that's going on in quarantine.
I know. It was way too much going on. But I'm happy to be back with you guys, man.
Definitely happy to be back.
It's been way too long. So, of course, guys, it's your girl, Hey Charlie.
And your boy, G Casso.
And you are kicking it with us. And today we have a special guest all the way from New York.
Show.
From the NY holding it down.
Holding it down. Brooklyn?
Yeah, Brooklyn
okay. I know y'all got some stuff going on.
Love Brooklyn. I was just going to say, it's just safe out there. It's safe.
Yeah, it's crazy out here, but we some true 9/11 survivors, so we survived through everything. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I go by the name as Lord P. From Brooklyn, New York. Hip hop artist, musician, writer, artist, lyrical storyteller, all the above. Pretty much started doing music when I was about maybe 12 years old. So I've been at this for quite some time, and I take my craft very, very serious. So that's me in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying?
So coming into Lord P. No, let me get it right.
Lord P. Not loud.
I still want to call him loud.
We're gonna get our minds off of the reefer for a second.
Hey, I swear. Like his name, when he said it, the only thing I remember was like he had to get this name watching Shotters. I felt like you just supposed to play something.
I'm from the Caribbean islands, man. So like that correlates all day, every day, man. Shout out to the Jamaican.
Where are you from?
I'm from Haiti. My nationality is Haitian.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you gave us like a brief overview of who you are, but give us like some little real down dirty. Like, how did music come into play? Mm-hmm. Like, what are all the influences of your music that you like to integrate?
So I grew up with a family of 6 brothers and sisters. So I'm the youngest. So my older brother was pretty much a hip hop connoisseur. Like he just studied hip hop. And me being the younger brother, I was just following his footsteps at that moment of time. And he was just always playing all of the classic, golden age 90s music. And that's what I was pretty much brought up under. It was, the Nas, the Jay-Z's, the Boot Camps, the Mos Defs, the Talibs. That's what I was pretty much around. And when he was, emphasizing on that culture of music, and just like teaching me about some of the experiences that those guys were going through. And I kind of was seeing the same thing in my neighborhood. Like that's what kind of got me attached to hip hop music, because it was so relatable to like what was actually happening in the community that I was staying at. So that's how I got acquainted with hip hop at a very, very young age. And I just wanted to try it out because I was seeing a whole bunch of ciphers in my community. So it was a bunch of the OGs in the neighborhood would come through. It'll be like 5, 6 of them, and they'll all be spitting some rhymes.
That's what's up.
And when I saw everybody getting attached to saying like, when there's like a fire punchline that comes out, and I'm seeing everybody like, oh, like I just saw the impact of just like what words can do. Yeah. And that's what kind of got me, to be much more of a lyrical MC. So that's my background on how I got attached to hip hop.
Now, I'm glad you said the whole Tele Quality and all, because we was just talking about that. Like, listen to your music. It's definitely country rap. It sounds so free. When you hear it, it's just like a freedom of expressing yourself. And I feel like that was really what's needed. Like, how did you not conform to the way rap is going now to try to stay into that box?
I think it's like, that's a good question. I think it's hard because it's hard for a lot of artists to kind of coincide with those things, because they tell you there's a specific thing that you need to do to get you into the level or get you the notoriety. But I feel like being true to yourself, I think that gets you further than anything. And I think that kind of makes me feel comfortable because I could just be myself cold-heartedly. And I don't like to deviate from who I am because I need to be publicized in a certain manner. I need to be looked a certain way. I feel like the way I'm bringing things about to the industry and to the entertainment is much more of just storytelling and getting people connected to what I'm actually doing. And that's way more important than anything for me.
Yeah,
You know?
I like that. So, okay, so I don't know how or when hip hop like really became like this, I don't know, this thing where it was no longer about so much the lyrics and it was more so about like the visual more
Yeah.
so than it was just the music. So I don't know, why was it so important for you to have Soullennial as not just a brand for music, but also a brand for content?
Yeah.
I think Soullennial has a bigger representation. Just it's not pretty much it's not like really into like the music concept of things. I think to kind of get everybody connected, it has to be about the art as a whole. And like with Soul Lineal, where I got that concept from was, through the word millennial. And I was just pretty much tired of just like having people that I don't know, specifically like white men in society, dictating the era of where we supposed to be. Like,
Yeah.
okay, millennials they don't appreciate morality. They don't
Oh
bring
my
down.
God, yes.
They don't know real music and shit like that. And I'm like, hold on. If I'm being labeled by somebody that doesn't even know who I am, that's a problem. So for me, Soullennial is about redefining yourself, redefining who you are, and then expressing it to the world. So I think that was important to me to kind of, express that to people so people could get connected because a lot of people, it's a lot of situations where people it's like the outside looking in.
Yeah.
They don't really know you internally. They can only dictate who you are from the outside. You know what I'm saying? So
Now I can say that you saying this from a New York person, this is something new.
Right.
And
Yeah,
the reason
no,
I say that is because you have that hospitality feeling. People up north, they don't have, like what you're speaking of. It's so stiff, yo. Like it's so you can't
bro,
just do the right thing
I
like that.
don't know though,
I,
because
I don't know about that one though,
I
bro.
mean,
I
no,
don't
Hey,
no. Well,
know.
okay,
you
so
know, just like I know, being up north, you can't just be, hey, what's up? No,
no,
it ain't the
but
same how I go down here like
Nah,
but
that.
I
yeah, I
also
agree.
think
I
that's
agree
like
with
a
that one. You can't do
misconception.
that.
I think it's a misconception though, because like I love going to Brooklyn and I'm a true Texas girl. Like I am a Southern girl, but I love like New York. I like the people in New York. I think the thing like people in New York versus in Texas, we automatically will just come out of nowhere and just try to help you. But like in like New York and upstate, like you gotta ask for it, and then they'll help you.
For real
And
though.
then, but then they like to connect people. So
Right,
like
right, right.
that's something that we wanted to know is because it looks like Soullennial, and even in your videos, like you have the same group of people that you work with. So like, do you have like your own tribe or something that consists of Soullennial or what?
Yeah. I got my tribe. Shout out to my boy Don Huru. He's my engineer pretty much. He he's like he does the whole sound engineer quality and he makes the music sound official. I've been working with Don Huru for maybe over 5 years. I knew him since elementary school, so I knew him for over 20 years.
Oh,
So most of the people that I'm really acquainted with that's a part of the team, we go way back. So I got my booking agent, Lefty. He's one of my best friends. I knew him for over 10 years. I got my boy Bode. He's working on the investment side of the company. I knew him since college. And my boy Dell is part of the accounting side of the company as well too. But they all manage me as a whole.
I
You
think
know,
that's
so
dope, man, because I think that's what's needed, man. More guys to come together and just get stuff done. It ain't no just bickering over the little things. Let's
for
just make
sure,
it happen. See what we do.
for sure. My concept is how do we organize? You know what I'm saying? How do we organize? Like, how do we celebrate each other's successes? I feel like that's the problem in our community. Like, it's very hard for us to kind of, as black men, especially, to kind of, big each other up
Yeah.
with going through those trials and tribulations. Like when we have our first success and we trying to, make it, we want to seek that validation from our peoples, our close people, that we doing a great job. And, I've been blessed to have those guys, always pushing me to the limit, because there's no yes men in our group. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's just saying yes for anything. Everybody want to see each other grow. So if you were doing the same thing the year before, it's like, what else can you do? How
Yeah.
else can I challenge you as an artist to be even bigger than what you are? And I could appreciate that from my team in Soullennial right now.
That's what's up. See, I think he talks about that a lot, especially like having a space where men, black men especially, can work together and like support each other, network with one another. So when it comes to Soullennial, I know that you're like the main artist, but are you bringing on other artists? Do you have other artists that you're looking at?
For sure. Right now, what we're doing, we're trying to build ourselves as an independent label. So we're trying to get the experience for ourselves of learning how to manage an artist and learning how to manage myself as well too. But what we're doing for the meantime, we're doing a lot of collaborations. You know what I'm saying? Keeping that same team energy, building that tribe of community. Because what I would say about New York, because I disagree. We do have some form of hospitality. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you gotta go looking for it.
It's in our own way, but what's lacking here is that tribe of community of artists.
Yeah.
It's a lot of competitiveness when it comes to New York.
I honestly feel like it's like that everywhere. Like when you go to certain town, everybody's just strained away. Like nobody can, what I mean, just really come together as one and just make it all happen. Like everybody can eat.
Right. But I would say like in the South, like especially like in Atlanta, Texas as well, I feel like there's a couple of artists that kind of blends their craft together and they do a lot of features. Especially Atlanta. But New York, it's a competitive spirit here. A lot of competitive energy, which is good.
I've been in Atlanta, and Atlanta just got a lot of, because I was an artist in Atlanta for a minute. And Atlanta's the same way. But people just put things to the side for money. Like, it's still friend circle. They just doing favors for everybody. Everybody still don't like each other. Niggas don't like each other. But they'll come together for some money.
And that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Niggas ain't gonna like each other, but they put differences aside and eventually make things work for the greater good of the people.
Yeah.
It's bigger than themselves. So I kind of respect that. Like, we don't like each other, but you know what? People want to see us collaborate together, and let's make something real because we think people is gonna really benefit off of this. It's bigger than just our little altercation and our little beef that we got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to really form in Soullennial, is like bringing this tribe and this community of artists together where we collaborate and we, do major performances in these curated events that we've been throwing for the past, 6 months now.
Yeah. So how has everything been going as far as like your workload and like the creativity that you have to have with being inside?
It's challenging. I'll be honest. It's really challenging because I've built so many great relationships all last year to kind of get this year started. And what's crazy is that now all of these things is together. Something that you least expect just came out of nowhere that's wiping out all of the shit that you had planned out.
No, seriously. Clear.
That shit is crazy. Yeah. So, like,
it was all good a month ago.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
You know what I'm saying?
I was in Miami. God dang.
So, it's like, it's just like life just did a complete turnaround. So it's about adjustments. So I'm just trying to find ways of adjusting. But what I would say is that being inside and having the main focus now, my writing has been really crazy. Yeah. I have a project that's coming out in August 3rd, which is called Outside Looking In. And it's like it's way beyond what I've originally wrote or for the project before that. it's like so advanced of what I'm trying to bring to the table, and it's digging deeper, and it's also challenging the listeners as well too. Just as much as the listeners could challenge the artist, I'm trying to challenge you now. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's been for me making that adjustment, but it's been positive. But my adjustment is much more personal now. Like, cause I'm inside, I get to really understand how to really center myself, how to meditate, how to really process and self-reflect with all of the things that's been happening, like throughout my career, you know, and how do I even, you know, go through all of these things and try to process it and be a better person going forward, you know, for my family, for my peoples, for my community. 'Cause everything has been, it's been really, really more personal, you know. How do I, you know, coexist financially? How do I coexist as a man, you know? Because I think everything streams from me. Lord Peace, Soullennial streams from me as a person. But, you know, I have the time to really target me, my personal self. And I think everything else becomes better when I do that, you know?
I
So
really
that's
think
been my
that
adjustment.
I really think that Soullennial, it speaks exactly like what you're saying because it shows that you've been at the bottom, took the time, you've seen how to come up through the ranks, and I've seen that you've been structuring things that way. So I
Yeah.
definitely see what you're saying. It gives you a better understanding, a better view of how to operate once you do get there.
Yeah.
And so I just looked at the Soullennial page like right before the come, and I was telling her like it just reads and looks like free, like it just like a neo soul, just free soul, everything just everything look happy, bro. So
No
I think
doubt.
it's
No
great,
doubt. No doubt.
great.
Even yes, even like your videos, because me and my roommate were watching your videos yesterday, and we were just like, this is like a whole vibe. Like
Yeah,
this is
definitely.
what we miss. Like I don't even miss outside. I just miss having my people with me. Like
That's a
like
fact. Yeah,
being
that's a
like
fact.
moving together in a group and just enjoying like in the middle of all of it. Like your video DM,
Yeah,
you need to do something with that, especially during quarantine times. Because
yeah,
I was like, yeah, like
that's dope.
Yeah,
what
thank you. Thank you.
was your influence for DM?
Um, DM was, it's funny because I met somebody through the DM, and you know that's like the new wave now. So
Yeah, that's how I got my through the
let's
DM,
accept it for what it is.
Wait,
All
that's
right?
how you got your wife was through the DM?
through the
Nah,
DM.
Shut up! I just found something out.
Toot, toot.
His
Slid
wife
right
is
up in that
gorgeous.
thing.
I love
Sprinkle
his
that in a
wife.
little bit. You know what I'm saying?
How
It's
did? Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to kind of like emphasize of how beneficial it was because when I made the song, you know, it had its positives and its negatives. But I feel like now the positives kind of outweigh the negatives now with the DM. You know what I'm saying? I think the DM. I see you making a little. I see you making a
It's
face
accessible.
right here. All right, let me make it specific.
Nah,
Maybe
That's right.
maybe it's a little
it's
different for
working.
men. Maybe it's a little different for women. Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna make it specific. But I think when I met this fine young lady maybe like 3 years ago in the DM, and it was just a vibe. Like it was like meeting somebody from there, getting connected, and then becoming, you know, really best friends, but
Yeah.
then also having like an intimate relationship as well too. And I learned a lot in that relationship. So I feel like that was something I wanted to write about and emphasize on just where I met that person because
Yeah,
it's not the usual you meet somebody through there and get that sort of, you know, that sort of realness. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
Everybody's like, you ain't gonna get no realness meeting somebody from the DM, and I'm like, well, you know, something happened otherwise for me. You know, my experience is a little different, and that's what made me write about it. But shout out to Tyree, Denzel, they were the directors of the video. Shout out to my boy Dons. He was the person that helped me with the concept of the video, and shout out to all the cast members. Like they came there and made that video for us. You know what I'm saying? The beautiful women, beautiful black women that were actually in there.
they
And then
were
my,
gorgeous.
you
I
know what
was
I'm
like,
saying? And my boys, you know, we always love to turn up. So
oh
we
god.
we, we we wanted to put that vibe in there, that good vibe. So
And people don't
yeah.
realize them DMs is hard, son. Everybody be in the DM.
You can't be
DMs are
successful back
hard.
there. That
You ain't
first
just getting
line,
no number in no DM. It's gonna take a little work.
that
That's a
anchor
fact.
line, the line that gets you in the door,
That's
it
a
better be
fact.
strong. Like
Hey,
it gotta be
All right,
strong.
all right.
let's be
What's all
honest
right?
here.
What's
Since we
strong
on,
though? Like
is there
what's
really a
considered
line?
strong?
What's strong?
Yeah, what's considered like a strong line? Give me like one prime example.
I'm trying to think. Who hit me with a good one?
Let's go. I'm
You
ready.
know, actually, for me, if you just say, hey, let's be honest. I was looking at your page. I think you're a beautiful person.
You already out of
I
there.
like, wait, no. I like that you're into, and if you can actually pull out something outside of like just my looks based off of what I post, then maybe we can have a conversation. Like I had a dude who was like, oh yeah, I see you're into music. I see you like to work out. I see you do this, and that. And I was like, thank you for acknowledging.
If I could
He didn't
grab
go
you right
anywhere
now,
after like days, but
Charmaine,
it was
I tell you all the time, you are the 1 in a million person that thinks like that.
I know.
Soon as she see, hey, beautiful, how you doing? Delete. Get him out of here.
And you that difficult? You that difficult?
I'm not that
with 'em?
difficult. I'm not that difficult. I just don't accept minimal effort. How about
I
that?
understand that.
I like to
I
stretch
understand that.
everyone that is around me. I like to pull it out of them. And so even if you're dating me, like I had to one time let this guy know, like, I know you can do better. So like until you decide you want to do better, I can't accept your scraps. I'm sorry. I challenge everyone around me to be better. If I challenge myself to be better, then you gotta come with it. Like
I'm gonna start using that line. I'm gonna interview. You can do better than that. You gonna
you
have
can
to
do better than that.
I know you can do better. I need to pull it out of you.
But I'm not. I'm online dating right now, so we're good. It sucks.
You're a part of it. You gotta accept it for what it is. You're a part
I
of
don't
that.
want to do it anymore. I miss people.
You're a part
No,
of that.
but I love the vibe that all of your videos set. Like, do you use the same director and producer every time you do the stuff?
Nah, it varies. It varies. Directors, it varies. I just like to see, because different projects, you're in a different state. You
Yeah.
know, and you want to kind of, do your research on which director could actually, you know, bring all of those words that you're putting into play into life visually. So, I try to like branch off as far as like getting other people to kind of chime in into my vision as well too. I love everything in house as well, but so far it's been different directors right now and different producers as well too.
Speaking just on the different directors and the producers, a question: do you feel like just because a producer or director has a following that they're good to work with?
Ooh, that is a great
That's a
question.
good question. I think numbers lie. Yo, I never really got connected with that quote. I think numbers lie a lot. I don't really get like if you got like 36K or whatever how many followers you got. It's 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 not about that. Like if you got dope work, you got dope work. But I don't holler at you for your work. I holler at you for your energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
get respected for your energy because I see where all that thought process is coming from. It's coming from a real place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I come from with that whole situation. You could have 300 followers and you're following like 1,000 people. I wouldn't care if your work is official and you showed me the credibility that you have, because credibility has to show. You know what I'm saying? And if your word is valid, then I'm gonna just go based off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
think
that's
it
that's
also
just my thing.
probably matters based off of what your project is too, because every producer has their own sound.
Right.
They're able to convey a different feeling based off of how they put their music together. And so
Yeah.
I think that also matters too, like because you can have the person that you work with all the time, but unless they can transition with where you're trying to go with your project, it's not gonna work.
It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work because they gotta connect with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gotta feel your vibe. They gotta understand the story. Sometimes, sometimes it's even better when they went through the same process as you. You know what I'm saying? They could correlate with that same story and they be like, yo, listen, I went through this shit like last year. And
Yeah.
I've had that with some of the directors, some of the producers that I've worked with that made the beats for me. They was like, yo, I literally went through that same shit last year. Like my song "Who Was," when I was talking about leaving the job, the corporate world, because that's where I was at that time, and that that director, that producer that was actually there as well too was like, yo, I literally was in that same current state last year. Like I was battling trying to leave my gig. I couldn't give no time to this full craft. And the fact that I'm hearing it from you, that you did it, it's giving me validation that I'm doing the right thing right now. And when
Yeah.
I heard that, that's when I was like, yo, listen, man, I'm doing the right thing right now by, doing this full time.
What part of corporate America did you leave?
I was in business management. I went to school for business management, actually. And that was intentional because I was too much of a creative. Like, I was too much of a creative. I had no understanding of what business was like, how to flip my money, how to, spread it across the boards to diversify. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know anything about that. So for me, it was important for me to go to school, especially coming from my background. You know what I'm saying? Most of the dudes that I grew up with in my community, college wasn't an option. You know what I'm saying? College, I wanted to make an option because I didn't want to get exploited off of my creativity. It's easy to just, get booked for a show and then get paid the wrong amount of money if you don't value. You know what I'm saying?
Having the wrong manager will screw up your entire life. Like, we even saw that right before all of this happened. We were seeing that happen with Meg Thee Stallion. Like, when you don't know how to read the fine print and how to handle your own personal music, like your business in music, it can destroy you.
For sure, because it's like you can have somebody else handle it, right? Because you might not have the time to do it, but you can always review what they're handling. You know what I'm saying? And then it will make sense to you if you understand what's actually happening. So if that person is not doing the work, you know to either replace that person or give that person another opportunity to do better. And by showing them how to do better, because you have some sort of knowledge in that as well too. So that's what I preach to a lot of artists that's out there that's doing things independently, whether or not if you on or not. You know what I'm saying? This is the time now where you get that information for yourself, because it's like you premeditating. So, that's always been my thing. Always be ready for the opportunity when that opportunity comes.
You can do better. See, I told you, this is the perfect slogan for a lot of people. You go do better. So, okay. So, I know we're getting ready to like wrap things up. So, you have a project coming out in August.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the project. What was the inspiration for the project?
Yeah. So the outside looking in, I feel like this is my third independent project. Where I want to be was pretty much about, being exactly where I wanted to be in the position of being a full-time artist, and still trying to understand how do I navigate, what's the next steps. But this project is much more of just like, all right, I've been in this light where people are viewing something a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? And they've been viewing things a little bit differently because they're from the outside. They don't know what's happening internally.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to bring that to the forefront. I want to challenge you as a listener to understand what did it take to get me where I'm at right now? What's the story behind who I am? Where did that Lord P concept come from?
Yeah.
How was I established how was I established with my family in the community? I want all of them to understand that rough edge of Brooklyn. And also I just want people to kind of like get intuitive with themselves as well too. So if you feel like people is looking at you from the outside, this is your way of kind of expressing yourself internally to the people that matter. You know what I'm saying? So they could understand you as a whole individual. And I think a lot of, things could be miscued when people are viewing you as a person, especially on social media. When you posting these pictures and you posting videos about yourself, they only know that one side of you. So in this project, I'm allowing myself to be as open as possible so people could understand who I am. So the vulnerability is all over that.
I'm ready to hear the growth and the transition, because if it was like that 3 years ago, it's been a minute. I'm ready to hear the transition to see what.
Right?
That's a fact. It's man. It's one of my best works because it has that quarantine feeling in it. it has that lockdown. I'm in the house frustrated feeling. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna be here for a whole lot longer than we really.
It has that in there. It has a lot of jazz elements in there. This is probably the first time I actually added some jazz elements.
Nice.
Because I'm still trying to keep that Soullennial vibe in there. all day, every day.
Man, I got some connects for you that I think I'm gonna want you to collab with. I think that y'all be perfect collabs, but y'all on that same vibe. Think
Yo,
of it.
Yeah, send it my way, man. Send it my way, man. Definitely, I definitely gotta stay in contact with you, with everybody here. Follow you guys on my personal network as well too. You know what I'm saying? So we can stay connected.
For sure. Maybe you can bring G out of retirement.
Listen,
I'm not doing it.
Rap, man.
I'm on my management.
I didn't even know. I don't even know. I think we were talking about some music I was doing, and G was like, I did music.
I did do music for a while. I just did a feature about a week ago, so I'm still in there.
You still in there, huh?
I just don't put myself out there like that. It's not.
Most artists don't. They have a challenge doing that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the conversation. We definitely got to bring you back closer to when the project comes out or after it comes out, so we can kind of do like a breakdown on your album. I'm so excited. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is going to be the beginning of whatever our new normal is. So
this ain't going to be it. I know that.
We're not doing this much now, guys.
This is different. This is different right here.
It's different than being in the studio every week, and you're used to just being with the mics and the lights and camera. It's a totally different vibe. But I like this. It's a little more relaxed, more conversational. So thank you so much, guys. Make sure that you tune in. Follow us on all of our outlets. Shout out to the Soullennial crew. Make sure that you follow Lord P. Tell us how they can follow you.
So you can follow me at _LAWDP. That's Lord P. And then Soullennial would be SOULLENNIAL. See,
you know what? We didn't even get you on we didn't get a bar or anything out of you.
Y'all trying to get some bars right now?
I mean.
Hey, she called for the boys.
That's what I'm saying. I thought it was just about the interview right now.
She put you on the spot. The spotlight is on. It is hot.
Can we just do that?
You are in the hot seat, sir.
It's cool. You wanna chicken out of it. It's cool. You don't want to give us a bar too. It's fine.
Let's keep it an interview. Let's keep the spice. So let's keep the people to go to the page and let them find out for themselves what's happening with my music.
I love it. Guys, trust me. You want to go check out his page. Check him on YouTube. You got some great views, and it's amazing artistry across the board. You can definitely tell that your team is on it. So I love it. You heard it first here, because I don't know after this next piece drops. I don't know where it's going. You heard it here. Kicking It Radio with your girl, Hey Charlie.
And your boy G Casso.
Peace, Lord.
You're kicking it with G on your favorite station.
The perfect station.
92 KELZ, the only station with new music, new artists, new sound.